Don't ask me to talk.
From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Join me, Stacey Heller,
And me, Eric Ryder.
as we talk about what's good to watch, read, see, listen to, and more.
An edutaining 1-hour break in your day that includes the segment, What Are We Eating? Sponsored by Dingfelder's Delicatessen.
Stick with us for something good. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Don't Ask Me to Talk on Kixie. I'm Stacey Heller, joined by...
Hey, it's Eric Ryder. Greetings to you and to our listeners.
Hello, everyone. So, Eric, you know this already, but maybe we have some new listeners. Each program...
You're joining us just in time.
You're joining... Exactly. I'll explain why in a minute. But hey, as you may have figured out by now, each program that we do, we talk about random holidays and topics. And then, of course, we follow the rabbit holes that we end up falling into. It's a bit like Alice in Wonderland, right? I mean, you just never know where you're going to go with some of these conversations.
I am known as the Mad Hatter, and you are indeed the Queen of Hearts. So
there we go.
Yes, very much like
am I a
Alice
villain?
in Wonderland.
I don't know. I have to think about that.
What are you going to say? Off with my head?
Yes, actually. So yes, we've just answered my very own question. But it's kind of fun being in Wonderland for an hour, right? You never know if you're going to grow too big for a topic or if you're going to shrink down or what's going to happen. Anyway, we also, of course, always hear from our show sponsor, Vance Dingfelder of Dingfelder's Delicatessen and Nourish Catering. You can find past episodes of the show wherever you listen to podcasts. And this is going to be more important than ever, folks, because after today, we are not going to be airing live on Kixie. However, after a short hiatus, we will be back in podcast form. So it's more important than ever that you subscribe to Don't Ask Me to Talk wherever you find your podcasts so that when new episodes come out again, you will get them to your inbox.
We'll be back.
Exactly. And you'll miss us when we're gone. And so during the short hiatus that we take, you can go back and listen to episodes that you missed.
Oh, yeah, there's lots.
Right? So many random things that we talk about.
We've covered many topics.
Many rabbit holes have been explored.
That's right.
So anyway, thank you, of course, for all of you that have enjoyed this journey with us, listening to the show each week through Kixie. And we're going to continue the journey together through podcast. So, no biggie. We're just moving. We're moving houses, which, interestingly, is one of the dreams that I have a reoccurring thing about houses and packing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about later, though. So, remember that if you want to connect with us, there's a way to do it. That's right, folks. You can text or call 475-999-2726.
Or 475-999-BRAN.
There you go. So that little jingle is going to stay with you. Okay, it's time to talk about some of the ridiculous holidays that are out there today. Now, when I did my research today, here's what I learned. I learned that there is not only a chip and dip day, but I learned that there is dip and chips day. Now, that feels like that was bad
That's
planning.
double dipping.
Look at you. I mean, it just seemed, so there's National Chip and Dip Day and then Chips and Dip Day. I'm like, somebody didn't plan very well.
Well, or they just love chips and dips so much that they created two holidays.
Well, and interestingly, in the Chips and Dip Day...
Wait, does one focus more on celebrating the dip and one focuses more on celebrating the chips?
I don't know.
That might be a little slice of genius there.
That might. And then they are double dipping. That
Literally.
Chip off the old block.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Now, with one of the pictures, there's a picture of salsa, guac, and tortilla chips.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the other one, it's more like a classic potato chip with a, dare I say it, a French onion dip. Now, of the two, which is your favorite?
Of chips or dip?
Yeah. Like if you had to only have one type, would you go with the Mexican inspired, or would you go classic Americana potato chips and...
Well, I guess I'll just say my favorite chip is got to be sea salt and vinegar potato chip, which I don't typically do with a dip.
No.
But I imagine it would be good with a dip.
Probably like some sour cream based dip.
Yeah, probably the classic French onion dip would be really good there.
Interesting.
I do love a good salsa. I don't really think of it as a dip, but I guess in many ways it would be. But yeah, I don't.
Perfect non-answer.
I don't think I have a favorite dip, but now that I'm being forced to think about it, I love a good cheese dip. How about you?
Yeah, I don't think I'd be. I think I'm going to give a non-answer too because
Well, do you have a favorite chip first of all?
Well, okay, so.
I mean, besides chocolate chip.
Funny you should ask, because I happen to have a bag of chips with me today.
You came prepared.
I came prepared. Now, normally, I'm a Ruffles all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, the smell is like...
Just because the ridges?
Well, yeah, the ridges, and they're sturdy, and they're great for dipping and whatever. And then every once in a while, I'll go through a phase where I'm like, I want a Lay's potato chip. And I'm going through a Lay's moment. And I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm lightening up for spring.
Interesting.
But
I'm Tim's Cascade all the way.
Well, yes. I mean, those. But see, to me, there's your classic, like, potato chip type vibe that's, one of these types brands. And then there's, like, the fancy schmancy ones.
And I don't know how fancy schmancy, but I just think that they probably make the best potato chips on the planet.
Is that the same folks that do the Hawaiian?
I think they distribute those, yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah, they are very good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely a chip person, though. Like, if I have to pick between salty and sweet, then I will always circle back to salty.
Very good.
And sometimes I'll even have chips for breakfast because I'm not a breakfast eater, but I take meds, and so I'll have a handful of potato chips or some chips.
Hey,
it's not healthy, but when you need to have something in your stomach.
Yeah. I don't eat chips very often because it's like that commercial. Once you pop, you can't stop, Yep. And I, find myself eating way too many of them at once. So I typically just avoid buying them. But when I get them, I really enjoy them. And I got to say, I saw a new Tim's Cascade flavor recently that was Gouda. And I said to myself, uh-oh. I think I might have to try that. Because
that would be really Gouda.
Their sea salt and vinegar, I think, is the best of all. And I've tried many sea salts and vinegar chips, and they're so good. But I also went through a phase where I was addicted to the dill chips that they made.
Oh, yes.
I was like driving to the store at like 2:30 in the morning because, it was bad. So,
and they had a dill pickle one too.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. And that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, they might still make it as far as I know, but I ate it to the point where I'm done with it now.
Yeah, well,
but at the time there was a window there. It was an addiction. So
and Lay's,
and those were perfect with any dip.
Well, yes, and Lay's has done this thing where they keep coming out with like these random combinations, and a lot of them it's almost like the dip is included in the flavor. And, so you don't even need the dip. But there's something about, like, the cold dip.
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
that creaminess.
Right, and then the
crunch.
crunchy chip. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with you, though, on the Tim's
combo.
Cascade because they're extra crunchy. I like that kettle chip vibe.
Yeah. They're just a little bit thicker. I love the peanut oil that they use. Adds just a little extra flavor to it. So, Tim's, if you're listening,
yeah, hey,
send us some chips.
Totally,
we love you.
We totally love you. I would throw away my bag of Lay's and my Ruffles, and I would completely convert.
Lay those on the curb.
Exactly. Okay. It is also National Chia Day. Now, I had to
chia.
Right. So here's the funny thing. I only ever think of chia as like chia pets, right?
Yeah.
And yet it's the same seeds that people eat and grow and eat as like a superfood or something. And I'm like,
sprouts.
Right. So I'm like, do people trim like their chia pet and eat it?
I guess you could.
I'm like, have they done that? Like, normally it's like Bob Ross's head or the chia pet or the like.
Well, you know what's funny is like years ago, Saturday Night Live had a skit after the chia pets were very popular. They did Chia Head as a skit where it was like a hair loss replacement thing, like the Hair Club for Men, but it was Chia Head, and the guy even like picks a flower from his scalp to give to his girlfriend.
Oh my gosh!
And he's got like lush green hair. It was very funny. It was a great skit, and then like a couple years later, Chia decides, hey, why don't we start selling Chia heads? They didn't do it for you to wear on your head, but they did make, pottery heads that you could grow Chia on as hair. So one of those cases where satire became life.
Right? Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's, I was just like, do they have them in just like a little regular garden so that, like why aren't they getting in on the market? I wonder if the quality of their chia seeds are somehow different than the chia seeds that you grow to eat and put in your salads. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Inquiring minds want to know. So, just a reminder to our listeners out there, if you know anything about chia seeds and chia pet seeds, feel free to shoot me a text at 475-999-2726. I mean,
I think the main thing is that, people mostly eat the seeds as seed form. And then, the pets, you're sprouting them.
Right.
So people mostly aren't eating the sprouts, I guess. But, they eat alfalfa sprouts. So maybe chia sprouts would be good. Yeah.
I don't know.
Never tried them.
Same.
I've had stuff with the seeds in it, though.
Yes.
Yeah. That was fine.
Yeah. People love it. And they add it to everything because they're like, it's a superfood. You know what else is a superfood? Tim's Cascade potato chips.
That's right.
Okay. The other day that struck my fancy, speaking of fiction and the intersection of fiction and fact, there's a day called Near Miss Day. Now, did you know that on March 22nd in 1989, there was a mountain-sized asteroid that just nearly missed the Earth by 500,000 miles. But they were like very concerned about this as they only found out about it like 9 days before it happened. It was essentially like real-life Armageddon.
Except for 500,000 miles away.
Well, that's the thing that I'm like, they're like, it almost hit. And I'm like, did it though? Because like, that's a lot of miles.
That's still too close for comfort for,
for scientists.
Yeah, for scientists, for sure.
But it kind of made me chuckle. I was like, I'm like, wow, how close was it? And then it was like, the fact that it's called Near Miss Day.
Right.
I'm like, so near miss
could just
is
be
like
miss day.
Right. Like one could argue that I nearly missed out on marrying Harry Connick Jr.
There you go. Sure.
Right? I mean, by 500,000 miles.
That's right.
And I missed out on, being somebody famous. So whatever.
Many things could have happened.
Exactly. So anyway, celebrate Near Miss Day and think about the things that you too just nearly missed out on by 500,000 miles.
But that reminds me of like one of the few pieces of good news we got, I think last year, was that NASA was able to send up something to ram into an asteroid to get it off course if it was coming our way. So, I think Near Miss Day probably inspired years and years of research, and now we may have a solution for the day when it's not Near Miss Day, when it's closer than 500,000 miles for an asteroid coming at us.
And it's probably not Ben Affleck or Steve Buscemi or Bruce Willis.
Yeah, no.
None of them.
Somebody else.
And then for birthdays today, this one made me chuckle. It is Joan Crawford's birthday. It made me chuckle because literally the line that comes up is from the movie Mommy Dearest, which is the book that her daughter Christina would write about her, and she's like, no more wire hangers. She was a total neat freak. I mean, probably had genuinely some OCD. And, you know, at the time, everything didn't have a name or it wasn't diagnosed or whatever. And it's almost like, I mean, here's this unbelievable actress that had a full body of work. She won an Oscar. And the thing that she's known for is her feud with Bette Davis and Mommy Dearest. And, you know.
Well, treat your kids right, I think,
right?
is the lesson here.
The lesson is
doesn't matter what you do. If you don't treat your kids right, people are going to find out.
Exactly. And also, she was not wrong. Wire hangers are not really great. You should try to get the felt ones. They're much better for your clothing.
I mean, I guess, but does it really matter?
Well, I'm going to make the argument it does.
And also, it's her house. How are the kids aren't like smuggling in wire hangers. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
She's buying their clothes.
Well, probably the help is buying the clothes. So
yeah,
really
so tell the help, hey, I got a thing. Can you get me plastic hangers instead?
Maybe Christina was like sniffing wire hangers.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't really make any sense. But again, for women out there, if you wear a lot of blouses and they tend to fall off the wire hangers, the felt ones are lovely and you can get them for a very good price at Costco.
Yep.
You're welcome. Okay. Any regrets about last week's show that you meant to share?
That was the show where we were talking about all the shows that we've been watching on TV lately. Mm-hmm. And not a regret per se, but I did notice that the final season of Mrs. Maisel is supposed to be coming out, and they dropped the trailer for it this week. And you had mentioned that you were interested in catching up on that show, so I thought I'd mention that.
I'm so excited. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Should be very cool.
All right. Awesome.
And I'm excited because a trailer dropped or a teaser dropped for Barry in the last couple of weeks, too. And I love
Bill Hader
Barry.
Show.
Yeah, on HBO. And that's the final season of Barry as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
That show is so good. I almost brought it up last week. And then I was like, well, it'll be embarrassing if it turns out that it's not still going.
Oh, it's still going. The final season is dropping this year, and so
is it like 3 seasons or 4?
I think they're on season 4 this coming season 4.
It's a good show, kind of dark and weird.
Very dark, but also
funny.
Sometimes the funniest show on TV.
Oh,
you know, and it goes back and forth between like absolute bleak and to absolute hilarity in a single scene. You know,
totally.
It's just brilliant. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Oh my gosh, so much good news that you're bringing me. So appreciate it. All right. Well, let's take a break. This week's topic that we picked last week, of course, is dreams, or reoccurring dreams more specifically. But apparently Eric doesn't really have reoccurring dreams, so we're going to have to get a little creative. Anyway, keep listening, and when we come back, we're going to share our dreams with you. We'll be right back. Stacy Connects. It's not just my business, it's my superpower. Whether you need the right tone and messaging for a new venture, or you've plateaued with your current one, I can help. I connect clients with themselves and their potential. Then, I identify unique solutions that translate your brand into messaging that connects your target audience with your business. Go to stacyconnects.com to connect with me and your messaging.
Interested in learning something new? Meeting someone new? Find out things that we have in common? Well, of course you are. You're a human being. So let's get intentional about it. Join me, JDK Winnikin, every week and get all of that in less than an hour. I'm a writer, a historian, a social commentator, and my show is all about you. Really, that's what it's called. This show is all about you. Get my perspectives on the week's news and hear fascinating guests whose stories will inspire and move you. My show is all about giving you something that connects us. Join me Mondays on Kixie 880 at 3 p.m. or download it as a podcast.
Can't get enough of Stacy and Eric? Then be sure and check out Stacy Connects with Stacy Heller wherever you find podcasts. Stacy chats with guests about a variety of topics, hoping to make a connection through conversation.
Welcome back to Don't Ask Me to Talk. So during the break, I had some chips. They were not, alas, Tim's Cascade, but, any port in a storm. We are talking about dreams, and at the end of last week's program, when the Wheel-O Topics landed on this.
Wheel-O Topics!
Every time. I love that about you. You're very committed. It was like, oh, reoccurring dreams. You're like, I don't remember my dreams. And
I usually don't, and I haven't had a recurring dream for many, 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 many years. I feel like I've had a couple when I was a child, but and we can get into that. But no recent ones. But you seem to indicate that you regularly have recurring dreams. You have recurring sets of recurring dreams.
I do. I am. Yeah. There's a lot that I dream about. So one of the dreams that I have, and apparently this is fairly common, common enough that if you go to Google it, a lot of dental places have it, dreaming about your teeth falling out. This is a very common dream.
Yeah.
And typically, like, it will start with one tooth that's loose, and then all of a sudden it's like this domino effect of like all the other teeth then start to fall out. And I'm like, it's freaky. And I don't wake up like, oh my gosh, I'm losing my teeth. And I also am not like, oh, it's poor oral hygiene, which is what some of the dentist angles are. However, apparently there's like a lot of different translations of it. It can be about fear, or apparently it relates to our, let me read this. I'm looking at the antiflow.com site. It talks about our inner well-being, how we survive in the world. It's associated with our inner control or power. And so when our teeth start to fall out, it's a sign that you need to decrease your stress and try to regain control. Now, apparently, it can be caused by grinding teeth as well.
And I do that. That's the problem. I'm not dreaming about it, but whatever I'm dreaming about, I'm grinding my teeth.
Yeah, see, I'm not a teeth
sleeping.
grinder.
So you're lucky. Yeah, it's not a good habit.
Well, and it's like some of this stuff is fascinating. Like when you read about the whole dream thing, like all the way back to Freud, there is like all sorts of things about reoccurring dreams. Mm-hmm. Then there's also a whole bunch of information on dreams in Islam and like what they translate to. So different cultures, different religions, like different sciences, what they all mean.
And we'll probably never know.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
people are just taking a guess at what things mean. They're doing their interpretation of
much
what any of these mean, and we may never even know why we dream.
Well, I think it's our subconscious.
Well, clearly it's our subconscious, but is there a reason for our subconscious to play little interactive movies in our brain while we sleep?
Well, yes.
It seems like we could be resting.
Okay. No rest for the weary. Here's the other dream that I have. So in this other dream that I have, I'm going back to a specific, in the dream, I'm always coming back to my house, and it's a particular house that I lived in Connecticut. The house on the inside does not look anything like it did when we lived there, but it's set on the property. And in the house, I'm like always going to the attic, and there's always this area in the attic that I'm trying to get to clean stuff out. And it's like far away and hard to get to and whatever. And apparently the whole meaning behind house dreams is about your spiritual self. Mm-hmm. And all the different rooms are symbolic, and the attic has to do with your unconscious thoughts. And when you're trying to get to them, you're trying to unpack your unconscious thoughts.
Again, that's somebody's guess.
Yeah, but I like that.
At what that is. Sure. I mean, it's, yeah.
You're such a skeptic. You're like, it's all stupid.
I mean, it's as good a guess as anything, isn't it? I mean, if it didn't line up, you would just say, that's nonsense. But instead you say, yeah, that could be true.
It could be true.
But there's no empirical proof or evidence that that's what it means.
No. But,
aside from, we all have anxiety, and sometimes anxiety manifests itself in our dreams.
Well, yes. And apparently I have a lot of stress and anxiety because it keeps me awake at night. The other dream that I had once...
Even while you're asleep.
Even while I'm asleep.
Do-do-do-do.
Exactly. The other dream that I had once, I don't remember what the house looked like, but it had a big front window and there was a pond that was sort of under the window. It was overlooking this pond, which we actually did have a pond in our house, but it was not right over the pond. Anyway, there I am, minding my own business, looking out the window, and there was a whale in my pond. Now, that was weird. I was like, how is this thing swimming around in the pond? It was very strange. And apparently a whale is about emotional depths or something. I'm like...
All right.
Basically, what I'm coming to the conclusion with the whole dream thing is that I'm insane, maybe. Or that I overthink about things.
That's entirely possible.
Well, okay... Then do you remember, what was it? Queen's Gambit.
Yes.
And if you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's so good. And
this is a miniseries on Netflix, or a limited series, as they're calling it now.
Yes, limited series.
Yes.
And in the show, she would see
she's
chess
a chess
moves.
master.
Yes,
yeah.
She's a chess master. And she would see chess moves in her head.
Mm-hmm.
And so they illustrated that with, these graphics.
Yeah, she'd see them on the ceiling, basically. And it was like a semi-conscious dream state that she would get into when she would plan out her chess games.
Yes.
Yes.
Guess what? I do the same thing, except not chess. I am constantly playing
backgammon.
No, word games.
Okay.
Wordament, or those things where you're trying to come up with as many words as you can. And I'm constantly in my mind going through a Rolodex of possible words. And I will wake up and find that I'm doing that. Or I'm trying to figure out Sudoku. And I'm trying to figure out these things. So that's kind of a weird thing.
Sounds exhausting.
It's so exhausting. It is so exhausting. It's supposedly about the struggle and difficulty of achieving my success.
Okay.
Which, yeah. It's totally exhausting. Now, I do have a skill that I've learned with all of this thinking that I do, because I'm always solving problems, and with the work that I do in my day job, if you will, I'm always trying to think about ideas for brands and some of my clients. And so I'll have these thoughts. And I have gotten to a point now where I can almost dog ear an idea in my subconscious where I'm like, hey, note to self, don't forget that when I wake up. Some people have a dream journal that they keep by their bed or whatever it is. But I have this thing where I'm like, remember this. And I'll remember it, and I'll wake up in the morning and be like, oh, here's that word that came to me in the middle of the night, or this idea, or, whatever it is.
That's cool.
Well,
that could be helpful. I mean, that's like having a Alexa or a Siri in your subconscious,
Yes.
Hey, subconscious, set an alarm for
exactly
8 a.m.
Except that I do feel like that ends up coming into my, it's almost like then I'll just start all night thinking about I can't forget this. So I should really just go with the dream journal. So those are my current ones. Now, as a kid, I had some weird reoccurring ones too, which then just tells me that my psychosis started when I was a small child. Do you remember having dreams when you were a kid?
Yeah, no, I still have dreams. I mean, everybody has dreams. I just don't have recurring ones. I just have random stuff happening. So I'm not thinking about whales on the the regular.
Pond.
Yeah. I recently had one where I dreamt that I was working on the Conan O'Brien show. I guess it was back on the air, and I was working on that show. And so that was kind of fun.
That's cool.
Because, I like that show. And so, yeah. But, just a one-off there. But when I was a kid, I remember like several nights in a row having a dream that a witch was setting my room on fire. And so it was like, and in the dream, I'm like in bed, and this witch is setting the room on fire, and I'm like, yelling for my mom, and then I would wake up all cold sweat, and I'd be like, Mom, did you hear me yelling? And she's like, no, what are you talking about? And so, and that like happened like several times, and I even as a kid put two and two together that I had watched The Wizard of Oz and the Wicked Witch of the West or East. I'm not sure which one's still alive in that movie. But there's a scene where she sets a scarecrow on fire.
Oh, yeah.
How about a little fire, scarecrow? And so that stuck with me, and so kind of haunted me for a few days, I guess. And so, that's the one recurring dream I can remember happening more than once. The rest, just one-off. I guess I'm just that prolific of a dreamer that I can come up with brand new scripts every night.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you? You remember a recurring dream from childhood, or a particular one that sticks out even if it wasn't recurring?
Yes. So really, this just shows how I don't know why I put this topic on, because I'm like, this is just weird. So as a kid, I remember dreaming that there was a face that was coming out of my wall, and the face would like pulsate to the sound of like a marching band. And it was like, and I don't remember if it talked to me or whatever it was, but it was this weird pulsating thing. And for years I hated.
Do you remember what the song was?
It was just like, it was parade music.
So like Sousa or something?
Yeah, and the bass drums where it was like very strong. More of a taps. It was taps. No.
Oh no.
It was very much like the drum part of like, when you're walking down the parade route and you're not stopping to play and you're just kind of doing like I don't know. I don't even want to make it up. But as a kid, I was terrified. I think back now and I'm like, I became terrified of parades and like the band, and I would always cover my ears because I was like, like, there it is, there's that sound. And it was so loud, like, when a marching band goes by when you're a little kid and you can almost feel like it in your chest, like that, the bass drum. That's what I would feel at night. I really need to go to a doctor or something. I mean, because that just doesn't feel right.
Someday you'll be able to stand next to a tuba without crying.
Right. Well, here's the funny
when you
thing
get the help you need.
Right. Well, I actually went through exposure therapy of sorts because my daughter, Grace, she played bass drum all through middle school and high school and would march with the marching band. And so it was like I finally made peace with it. And she played the baby bass, so it was, pretty
nice.
Small. But yeah, that was traumatic.
It's amazing the tricks our brain will play on us as kids, especially like the shadows. Like I was convinced, like when if someone left the closet door open, the clothes inside were actually, people.
Oh.
And why are they in there? I have no idea. But clearly they're up to no good. So you just shut that door. It's all fine. But
Totally. Well, and really that's kind of the dream thing, right? It's obviously our subconscious or
right.
our unconscious selves and the things that we ruminate on or think about, or, like Conan O'Brien, you may have been scrolling through something and read something about him and, whatever. And then it was like, oh, I'm going to work there or whatever the situation is. And, sometimes their dreams can be aspirational. Mine typically tend to be pure chaos. There's a lot of people, a lot of moving parts. And then my dreams also will dovetail into each other where, I'm like, I don't know how I went from a roller coaster to a ski resort. I'm not really sure. But, I seem to mix everything into one.
That's like an Olympic event just waiting to happen.
Right.
Like, what's it called where you do a ski jump and then you shoot?
Yeah, right. The luge mixed with the ski jump.
Yeah, but I mean, I think there's an actual event that I can't remember the name of, but it's just they put some random stuff together, and it's a sport.
They're like, this should
That's
be
in
fine.
The Olympics. Yes.
What can happen?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the roller coaster followed by ski jump or whatever it was. It's an Olympic event waiting to happen. A new kind of marathon or Ironman thing.
And to think I dreamt it.
Yeah. Sometimes people get inspiration from their dreams.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that for a second. There's a whole, I think it's Disney that says it, or there's a quote that, dreams are a wish that you make. I hope not. I don't know maybe some are, right? But I feel like the dreams that they're talking about in that particular quote are about the dreams that you have when you're awake. Like someday I want to be a princess.
Your aspirations, really.
Right. Versus your subconscious, because your subconscious, I feel like, is really messing with you.
Yes. It can, for
and
sure.
It seems like it is out to, trap me all the time. Trap me or trip me up or something. I don't know. Very interesting. Well, and people have full journals about their dreams. And apparently it's like there's something called automatic writing where if you just start writing and you get into a habit, then you just start. Like, it's not like a Ouija board where suddenly your hand is moving of its own accord, but you just start doing this automatic writing and whatever you're thinking comes out. And I feel like it's just a muscle that you're doing with your dreams as well, right? Where whatever it is that you dream at night, if you get into the habit of writing down whatever it is, then
it's so easy to forget your dreams once you've woken up and had to go brush your teeth or whatever. So if you are interested in your dreams, they do recommend that you keep a journal and then you just jot stuff down fresh when you wake up. And of course, you could do that with a voice memo or something like that as well.
Yep.
If you didn't want to write. But yeah, it's fascinating stuff. I hesitate to assign any deeper meaning to it, but it is fascinating, like the places that our brains will go.
It's Dr. Seuss-like, right?
It can be.
Right? Well, it shows the difference between you and me because I'm always looking for connection and meaning in things.
How's that working out?
Not great, really. But I'm not giving up yet.
Okay. Well, enjoy.
I just want to understand why. Why are my teeth falling out?
Enjoy the whale in your attic.
Yeah. It was in the pond in the front yard.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, you know what I always could dream about?
A fantastic pastrami sandwich, perhaps.
Maybe. Or
some nice knishes, maybe.
Exactly. Or a Linzer tart.
Oh, now we're talking.
Right? We have been talking
dreamy.
about the Queen of Hearts. I wonder if I'm going to dream tonight about
Queen
Off
of
With
Tarts?
Your Head. I'll have to let everybody know.
I'm going to be dreaming about food because after these conversations, I always do.
That's true. All right. Well, let's take a break. And then when we come back, we are going to be joined by Vance Dingfelder of Dingfelder's Delicatessen.
One final, what are we eating, at least for a while?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be right back. Whether it's fly fishing or French pastry, we all have something that makes our tail wag. Involuntary and instinctive, it's sparked by excitement, inspired by purpose, and it speaks to who we are. I'm Stacey Heller of Stacey Connects. I lead clients to the place that makes their tail wag. As a creative director, I bring ideas to life. As a podcast producer, I give ideas a voice. Stacey Connects. It's my superpower. If you want to connect with me, Stacey Heller, go to staceyconnects.com. Well, it is that time. It's time to talk about the stuff that dreams are made of.
That's right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. It's our favorite time of the week where we get to talk to our good friend, Mr. Vance Dingfelder. We're talking about the Lord of the Sandwich, the King of the Knish, the Baron of Breakfast, the Duke of the Deli. Vance, how are you, sir?
Oh, Eric, so nice to hear from you. And yes, Stacey, how are you this week? How's it going?
We're great.
You know, I heard you guys talking about National Chip and Dip Day being a little dippy, and it just made me think, okay, I didn't hear what was your favorite dip. What's your favorite dip?
I do like myself a French onion dip.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that as well. I think that's a classic for a reason.
I just have to tell you, my favorite has to be, okay, Fritos scoops with French onion dip, okay?
Hey,
okay,
it's good.
I'm sorry to say.
The Fritos with bean dip is also amazing.
You know, I've never had bean dip, but I love guac. I do. I love fresh made tortilla chips and guac and salsa. But queso.
Queso with Fritos? Oh my gosh.
Queso with Fritos. And I mean, we get down, get dirty, Velveeta and Rotel. Okay? It's ridiculous that I'm actually even talking about it because I was such a snob, I wouldn't even think to eat that. But when you date somebody from the South, I'm sorry to say you have to try it.
Hey, it's good stuff. I mean...
Oh, it's amazing. And you know what? It's nuclear, okay? So I'm going to say it is... I don't even want to talk about what it is because I poo-pooed Velveeta my entire life, just to say. So it's being that. So it made me think, graduations are coming up. And people are starting to book graduations on Nourish Catering. Mm-hmm. And one of the things we do for a lot of bar and bat mitzvahs and as well as graduations is we do a chip and dip bar.
Ooh.
And it has tortilla chips, Ruffles, okay, the good classics. Tortillas, Ruffles, pretzel twists, and, of course, Fritos scoops. And we put salsa, fresh guac, the kind of guac that you get when you go to Mexico. If you've ever had Mexican guac in Mexico, it changes your life, okay? So pico, salsa, and fresh guac, and of course, you can't go wrong with good old, and they call it, California dip? No, excuse me. Lipton onion soup and sour cream. That's it.
That's a classic for a reason.
And the way we do it is we put them in the basket, in our baskets, wicker baskets, turn them on their side, and all the chips flow out onto the table. And I'll tell you, everybody hits that chip and dip table, and it's so worth the money. It really fills a void. And, coinciding with what we're talking about, I just had to bring it up.
It's a corn chipacopia.
It's a cornucopia of chips.
Yeah. I would totally, if I were a kid, well, who am I kidding? To this day, if I get invited to an event where you have that set up, I 100% will be found grazing at the Chip Bar.
Well, it just goes to show Nourish Catering has all the bases covered. You know, it's, I mean, you know, from entrees right down to the snacks, you know, you've got it all covered.
Well, what do you need? I mean, you need that. You need a 3-foot sandwich.
Yep.
And maybe a crudité. Ooh, did I say crudité? You know, something of vegetables, and you're good to go.
Yep.
For 60 people, and it's reasonable. That's what's so cool about it. So, you know, I have to say, we're coming up on Passover. And how could we leave Passover out of the mix? Because it is our busiest time of the year. It is the most celebrated Jewish holiday amongst the religion. And it's about brisket and the plagues. That's what happened. So, you know, you celebrate the...
Wait, did you say brisket and the plague?
Yeah, I did. Brisket and the plague. It's also about the plagues, the prophets, matzah, of course.
Naturally.
I was shocked that people were asking me, what is matzah? That was interesting. Like, what is matzah? What's a matzah ball?
Eric, do you know what matzah is?
Well, it's unleavened bread, right? So matzah ball would be the dough, unleavened dough. Am I right?
You're close. It's the unleavened bread that's matzah, and then it's turned into breadcrumbs. Like, it's called matzah meal.
Uh-huh.
And that's what you use to make matzah balls.
Oh, okay.
But the big debate is whether or not you like floaters or sinkers.
Oh my gosh.
Some people like sinkers. Some people like floaters. I prefer a floater.
Okay.
However,
so is this about the weight?
And we're talking about matzo balls here. I just want to remind folks in case you're confused.
So is it about the size of the ball?
No. Okay, so the size of the balls does not determine whether or not you have a sinker or a floater.
Okay.
What determines, when you're making the matzo balls, there's a process, and there's all kinds of debate, as you may imagine, as in any household that talks about family recipes. Everybody's got their little thing that their grandma did to do this or do that. However, I have been privy to making floaters my entire career, and then there was a period where all of a sudden my floaters became sinkers, and it was a travesty, because you pride yourself on having floaters. A floater is something that's light, like a feather, They're perfectly shaped. They float on top of the water when you're cooking them. And when you cut them with your spoon, the spoon goes through it so gingerly.
Like
it just
butter.
slides through like butter. Whereas a sinker, they don't ever float to the top. They stay on the bottom, no matter how long you boil them, and they're dense, kind of like a dumpling.
Okay.
But they're not light like a dumpling. They lay on you like a brick, as my grandmother would say.
Nice.
So after you use matzo balls and you cook them, sometimes a floater can become a sinker if you put them in the refrigerator. But if they're done right, they're indestructible. And you can put them in the refrigerator, you can freeze them. There's a whole bunch of things you can do. The best are fresh made, and we only sell fresh made matzo balls at Dingfelder's.
Right.
But what really determines the difference is the amount of fat that you use in the matzo ball, which makes sense because why? Fat floats.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is why I'm so good at floating on the lake in the summer.
People would be saying, it's baking soda. Oh, you got to put a little bit of seltzer in it. Oh, you got to do this. You got to do that. No, it's the ratio of fat to egg to water in matzo meal, right? And that's pretty much how you make a matzo ball with, salt and pepper and schmaltz. Schmaltz is the key.
Okay.
So I have to say that last Passover, we sold 1,200 matzo balls.
Wow.
It's a lot of balls, let me tell you. Somebody's making matzo balls a lot.
Nice.
Well, that's fantastic. So what other foods are associated with Passover besides a matzo ball soup, which is the classic, I think?
So obviously matzah, right?
Yeah.
And people will typically eat brisket and or turkey and or chicken and or salmon and or lamb, but as their main dish. But there's things called harosef. There are the bitter herbs, which is horseradish. Harosef is the mortar that was used to make the bricks to theoretically build the pyramids.
That sounds delicious.
Or to build the Pharaoh's palace. It's really good. People love the harosef. It's apples, dates, figs, walnuts, all kind of mushed together like a mortar with cinnamon.
Now that actually does sound good when you tell me what's in it. Yeah.
It's really like a pie. Almost,
when you're telling me it's brick mortar, it's not that appetizing, but the stuff in it, it's great.
You put it on matzah.
Yeah.
And you eat it with the horseradish, and it's called the Hillel sandwich. And what it does is it's supposed to be the bitter herbs, the horseradish, and remind you of the mortar that we, as slaves, we built it together. Another thing that you eat is you dip lettuce in vinegar and salt. You eat an egg to remind you of birth. Recently, there's oranges, and you will eat gefilte fish and chopped liver, and Sephardics will do certain things as pastelicos, which is like an empanada, and borecas, which are like a pierogi that's baked with cheese and potatoes. And you won't eat any leavening, but for dessert, you'll have macaroons, and also our famous, world famous, legendary, our matzah roka. And the matzah roka is matzah, caramel on it, chocolate, a little bit of really good salt, and almonds. And you break it up and you eat it as a dessert at the end of your meal, and it's pretty special. Just saying.
Sounds fantastic.
So good.
Are you adding all these things to your menu for the Passover holiday, or?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's all there.
No.
Wow.
If you go online to dingfelders.com, and it's a little complicated because of our point of sale system has limited how many days you can order ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
You're only allowed to order 6 days ahead of time. So we're taking orders for the first day that we're going to be delivering, or that you can come and pick up, is Monday, April 3rd. Wednesday, April 5th, is the first night of Passover. So the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th, people will be picking up, and then Passover lasts for 9 days. And you're supposed to clean out your house, use only of all the leavening. Technically, you're supposed to burn it. And it's kind of like spring cleaning. You know, you're spring cleaning your cupboards, making sure that there's no chametz, which are things that are not kosher for Passover.
Oh.
And you get the house ready, and you clean the kitchen, and you prepare the dinner. What we do is everything that we serve on our Passover menu is kosher for Passover. Our matzo ball soup is kosher all the time. Our chopped liver is kosher all the time. But we make the brisket kosher, and the chickens, our chickens are always kosher, but the chicken is kosher. And all the other ingredients are, vegetables. We do potato kugel in addition to our other kugel. It's a big deal. It is our busiest time of the year. It's fun. We do Seder plates and things like that. But it really connects us with the community, and we can't be more thankful in doing that.
Beautiful.
It's amazing.
Well, dingfelders.com to order all your Passover food. It sounds like, why not make it easy on yourself and get the best at dingfelders.com?
Totally. And even if you don't celebrate the holiday, the food is delicious.
Yeah.
And you know what? Try it out. Why not? Try something new.
You know what? You guys, thank you so much. One thing that we do that's really special is we make the horseradish. And it's really strong. So if you like strong horseradish,
love good horseradish.
now's the time to come and pick it up.
Awesome.
I'd love for you guys to stop by. It would be awesome to see you over the next couple of weeks.
For sure.
And this weather has been just amazing. And thank you, you guys. You guys
Thank
have a
you.
wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Vance.
Love you.
Always a pleasure. Happy Passover to you.
Thank you, Eric. You take care. And happy
Take care.
Easter to you guys as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Man.
Starving.
Yeah, totally.
Me too.
I got to work at Dingfelder's over one Passover a couple of years ago, and it was crazy. It was crazy busy, and I was starving at the end. So if you think talking about the food is hard, imagine working among the food.
I imagine.
Yeah. So anyway, well, that's our last show here on Kixie.
That's right. We got to leave it here, but please find us wherever you find your podcasts. Don't Ask Me to Talk is the show, and we'll come back and we'll do some more podcasts.
Exactly. Remember, we'd love to hear from you. Tell us what you want us to talk about. See you soon, everybody.